Welcome to the second part of our Mexico budget series. Now, in this one, we are looking at the two side trips we took from our mainstay in Querétaro. If you haven't watched our budget on Querétaro, we recommend you check our videos up there and have a look and see what we felt, what we spent, and how it all went. Now, our philosophies is to usually have one side trip of 2 or 3 nights. So we book 28, 30 days and then escape with just a small bag, leaving all our stuff in the main town and discover a new exciting area. I'm Frank.
Hi, I'm Kim.
And we are FNK Life. So let's get started with our first side trip, which was...
San Miguel de Allende.
Sounds very exotic already.
It does. So this was another town that we had heard of and were interested in seeing, but also a couple of the YouTubers that we follow, Rick and Daphne, we'd seen were going to be spending a month in San Miguel. So we'd reached out to them to say, do you fancy meeting up? And it would give us a perfect excuse to go there anyway. Unfortunately, they were lovely and they were like, yeah, come, we'll have lunch.
Yeah, so we love watching their videos. So that was fantastic to get to meet them.
So we decided that we would spend 3 days in San Miguel. It was really easy for us to get a bus from where we were in Querétaro. So our local transport costs were only £43. So the return bus was £35 for both of us, which was great.
Yes, and the buses in Mexico are great. We should really point that out.
They're really comfortable.
They're extremely comfortable. They feel like a first-class experience. Whichever ticket you buy, you can select your seat. We're at the front of the bus. It was very comfortable.
Yeah, no, that was great and easy. So
except for the delays.
Yes. Actually, we did have, about an hour and a half delay actually going out to San Miguel. But we did get to chat to a really lovely couple in the waiting room, so it didn't seem too bad. And yeah, the rest of our costs, if we got an Uber anywhere, it was only £4.
Yeah, San Miguel de Allende is a very small town. So, however, we did take Ubers a few times simply because of the hills to avoid. Actually, on our return trip to the bus station to get back, we actually decided not to take a taxi this time because it was mostly downhill. And I'm not sure if it was a good idea, but it really wasn't that far. So it is walkable. You could walk from the bus station all the way up to the center and then down again. So we did that.
Yep, and we'd picked, because we were only there a few days, to have central accommodation. So we were right round the corner to the main cathedral church that's there, which was great. Apart from, we actually realised that they would, not only would they ring their bells every hour, every quarter of an hour as well, which was lovely.
And through the night.
Night. So we were begging for 1 a.m. when we would only get one bell sounding. Midnight was just torture.
Yes.
So beware if you stay near to
just enjoy it. Enjoy it. We've had similar in other countries. It's always good fun. So we should really start with accommodation itself. Now, we only stayed 3 nights, and the cost for the accommodation was £247, which is £82 a night, which is a lot more than we normally spend, obviously, on average. But that's because we took a short stay. So we often would pick a hotel for those stays, but this time we had an Airbnb.
Yeah.
And it was really nice.
It was really quirky. It was really nice.
Quirky is a good word. No, but we had a proper spa bath with jets and everything.
And a big king-size bed, which was nice. And even our own bar area that we could use.
Yes, a bar area downstairs, but also a rooftop terrace, which was fantastic. That was another bonus. But it was a really nice place. Yeah. It's an old town. It's old buildings. Some of the windows didn't have blinds, so you had to take the light when it came. But overall, for £82 a night, we felt we got great value, and we couldn't have been any more central if we tried.
No, so that was good. And then we didn't buy any groceries because we were only there 3 days, so we were eating out. Our eating out for 3 days, though, was £232. So £77 a day, which is quite a lot for us.
Yes, well, the first thing is we were out for breakfast every day, or breakfast or brunch, depending on what time we woke up. And so that cost a little bit, probably £25 on average. And the other thing we did, of course, was we were very sociable. We met people. One of the meals was a really nice lunch at the top of the hill with Rick and Daphne and Mimi and Raphael, whom we met for the first time. And it was such a lovely experience. We had a long lunch and shared everything. So yes, and beautiful views from the top.
Yeah, no, that was a really nice lunch. And we also had a dinner out by ourselves, and that was good.
On average, the cost for those meals was about £100. So not cheap, but we did not, we didn't
skimp on anything.
We didn't skimp on anything. We had cocktails to start with to see if we could find that elusive good margarita. Spoiler, we haven't found it. We'll post the pictures. They look nice, but they're just diluted,
Yes.
disappointing margaritas. We had quite a few mezcals, which were very good. And we certainly had wine as well. So the local wines are nice.
Yeah. So on that note, our drinks, we only spent £12 directly on drinks, where we had 2 margaritas in a rooftop bar, which were a little disappointing.
Yeah, the margaritas weren't great. The rooftop bar was okay. We got to see sort of the sunset.
Yeah, which
and
is
the sunset
nice.
view,
Quiet,
which was
though.
nice. And it was very quiet. Lacked the atmosphere for sure. So that was our drinks budget. We didn't spend anything else on all the other things.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have a Thai class this time. No personal care, laundry, gear. But we did spend some on entertainment because we found another rock bar. Follow us for all the rock bar tips.
Yeah, so we went to the Rain Dog Lounge, which was really good. So there was a guy on the rooftop.
Yes, they had a rooftop terrace, and so they have like a separate setup. They have sort of late afternoon sunset, more
Chilled,
more chilled, more
yeah.
acoustic, and it was fantastic music.
Yeah, it
the
was
keyboard player was excellent.
And then you'd move downstairs and it was more of a disco vibe or more energetic.
Yeah, rock, disco, all those things, more cover things. It was certainly a lot of people dancing, and it was quite a.
That was entertaining as well.
Yes, it was great
Quite a
fun
sight.
to watch. Yes, loud, fun, and exciting. So we definitely recommend Rain Dog as a place to visit.
So yeah, with doing that and going out, we managed to spend £118 on this entertainment. So in total in San Miguel de Allende, we spent £651 for our 3 nights, which was £217 a day over and above the £100 budget we've got.
Yes, we should probably say that the £100 daily budget annual doesn't really apply to those little jaunts that we
Side
do
trips,
like this.
no.
No, side trips. Same as celebrations. So that was our first little jaunt. The second one was towards the end of our month. We decided to go to Mexico City early and enjoy that for 3 days as well. So what happened there? So first of all, we had a return ticket, a bus ticket that we had taken from Mexico City when we arrived. So we got the return leg for that, and that took us straight to Mexico City Airport, where we had started. And then we decided to try the metro subway in Mexico City.
Yeah.
We can't say anything that bad about Mexico Metro.
No, it was
except-
cheap.
Yes, it's really cheap, and it does cover a lot of places, but we wouldn't do it again with our luggage.
Yeah.
And that was the mistake we made. I think we normally would avoid that anyway, but this time we were like brave.
Yeah, and we kind of got thrown by trying to look on the map as to where we were going. It didn't give us good advice for the lines. And if you come out of the station and you need to change lines, they do not have any escalators or lifts that we
Not
could find.
accessible at all.
You have to climb upstairs to get to your next line or to get out of the station. So if you are carrying luggage, then it can be quite painful.
Yes, I mean, there were a few changes. There wasn't one direct line, like often there is from the airport straight to the center. Not this time. So the metro works, and it covers a lot of areas, but it's old and not accessible. So it was only £1 for both of us. In fact, it was really cheap. So we can't argue about this. Then from the closest metro station, we walked to our beautiful Airbnb.
Yep.
So our Airbnb, how much did we spend on the Mexico City one?
So £225, which was £75 a night. But it was a really lovely apartment.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Super stylish.
Yeah, very stylish.
It was bigger than what we needed, certainly. But, it had 3 bathrooms, a huge lounge, a nice kitchen, and a very great bedroom as well with a big bed. And on top of that, another rooftop terrace. So we were really spoiled in Mexico for rooftop terraces.
Yeah.
And we did get to enjoy that rooftop terrace. Normally, we don't always use the balconies or the outdoor space, but this time it worked out well. So the location for this Airbnb was in Roma, Norte, which we had been advised was the heart, really, of Mexico City. And there's certainly a lot going on there. So we really like the area.
Yeah, the area was great. We would definitely recommend staying around there. It was really easy to get around.
Yes.
As you say, really good restaurants.
It was also very easy access to get into it. There was a security person at the front that let us in every time.
24/7 as well.
And took the keys at the end as well when we had to check out. So everything was really straightforward. We ended up walking around quite a bit because we wanted to explore Mexico City.
Yeah.
And we quite enjoyed it, yes.
So again, because we were just 3 nights, we had no groceries And our eating out, though, was £296. So on average, at £99 a day. So we had 2 dinners out during that, and they were both like £100 each, and a couple of lunches as well. So it quickly adds up.
Yes, and this time we had no excuse. We weren't meeting anyone. It was just the two of us.
We took advantage on the third night of having our roof terrace, and we'd brought wine we had left from Querétaro with us, so it meant we could just sit there and enjoy having the space. So that was good.
Yes, a nice evening there. Also, we should point out that probably the best Mexican meal we had in all of Mexico, including Querétaro and San Miguel, was in the last restaurant we had in Mexico City. It was really lovely.
So it redeemed Mexican cuisine for us.
That's true. So that was the overall budget for Mexico City. £553 in total, which is £184 a day. So £84 over daily budget, which is slightly better than we did in San Miguel de Allende, but not much better. So overall, we probably overspent by £252.
Okay, so we've put together our totals for Mexico and added together for the 3 locations and the fact that we stayed there for 30 days.
Right, so for the 30 days, you can see on screen now, we overspent everywhere.
Go us.
Oh, yes.
Woo! Local transport was good. We only spent £223 for the 30 days there, so that was fine. £7 a day on average. Accommodation, highest we've had.
Probably, yes, and higher than our average. We tried to spend under £30. We have increased our potential budget to slightly more than this because we know, obviously, inflation and everything else. So we accept that we'd spend maybe more than £30 this year, so it might be 35, but we were at £45. So still about $60 per night. Most people who I think we watch would consider that a very reasonable accommodation. Because we had 2 side trips in 1 month, it also raised the price because obviously we had extra transport, extra accommodation, which we would not normally do.
Yeah. And then again, eating out was more expensive. So the total of our groceries, eating out and drinks was £2,313, which is quite a lot. For the rest of our odd categories, we mainly spent on entertainment, and that was going out to music bars. We spent a total of £357 for the 30 days, which overall isn't too bad.
No.
But the grand total of spending 30 days in Mexico for us was £4,236 or $5,700. So on average, our cost per day was £141 versus the £100 we normally budget. So we overspent by £1,230, which is a lot for us.
Yes, it is. And to add to it, I mean, we'll look now overall what we felt about spending 1 month in Mexico. We can start by saying that we felt we really overspent and probably under-enjoyed our stay overall. So it doesn't feel right, you know, it's sort of like we spent way more than we did in Chiang Mai, which was last month's budget, and where we managed to actually stay on budget.
Yeah.
But our enjoyment was much higher overall. So slightly disappointed by our overall Mexico experience. We had some fantastic time, and it certainly redeemed itself many a time in different restaurants and different encounters we had. But would we go back?
No, we're thinking not. And that was the other reason that we decided to take 2 side trips was to see more of Mexico while we were there. I think doing the side trips also made us feel more positive about Querétaro. We did enjoy staying there for the bulk of our time because it was so easy to get around, and it really wasn't touristy. So I think I could count on one hand the number of tourists I saw while we were in Querétaro, but the minute we were in San Miguel, there are way more.
Yes, I mean, Querétaro was the best overall. San Miguel was certainly very beautiful, but it was very touristy.
And I'm really glad we went to see Mexico City. So like the neighbourhood we were in was lovely. I'm glad we got to walk around and see some of it. But I think for us, we're not great fans of big cities. It was more like kind of Buenos Aires and Bangkok. We're not sure how we would feel about spending like a whole month there, but glad we got to see it.
We enjoyed each different neighborhoods we discovered, but it does feel like you have to stay within a neighborhood to really make the best of it. And it's still noisy and polluted and all those big city problems. So judging by this budget and the last week's video, it's unlikely that Mexico will make it to our 2026 awards. You'll have to wait till the end of the year to find out when we put our rewards forward.
And the other thing you're going to have to wait for is, are we going to claw back some of our budget for this year and our next stay, where we're staying in Mendoza for 2 months?
Yes, that puts a lot of pressure on poor Mendoza, where we have to not just stay on budget, but actually try and recoup some of that overspend, which is like £40 a day. Seems unlikely, but hey, stick around and find out. Don't forget to press that bell button and subscribe.
Thanks so much for joining us. Leave us any of your comments.
Always.
And we'll see you in the next one.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye.